afternoon. I'd like to welcome everyone to today's Membership Chair webinar series, part of the Chapter Leader webinar series. My name is Jenna Davis. I'm the Manager of Chapter Operations here at HFMA, and I'll be serving as your moderator for today's webinar. If you have any questions at any time during the webinar, please type those into the Q&A pod and we'll address those during the presentation. For those of you on the line, I did launch a poll, so if you, while I'm going through the introductions here, if you could kindly put your feedback in, we would appreciate it. This webinar is being recorded and will be available next week. And at the end of this presentation, you'll receive an email to complete an online evaluation. Your feedback is extremely important to us, so please take just a few minutes to complete the evaluation at the end. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce today's presenters. Jim Kokinis, HFMA's Membership Manager, Keith Chamberlain, HFMA's Director, Membership Marketing and Experience, and Melanie Binder, HFMA's Community Manager, Corporate Strategy. I'm also very excited to let everyone know that we are going to hear from a few chapter leaders on today's webinar. Govi Goyal, the Director of Membership from the Florida chapter, will be sharing the chapter's best practices on member recruitment and retention. Keith Bull, Membership Chair from the McMahon-Illini chapter, will be sharing the chapter's best practices on student-faculty engagement. And Nicole Watchman, Incoming Membership Chair for the Washington, Alaska chapter, will be sharing the chapter's best practices on member retention with everyone. And now, I'd like to turn things over to Jim.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you and welcome to everyone. We are happy to be having this meeting today and that so many of you have taken time this afternoon to join us. We hope that you will find what we are able to present will be both beneficial and helpful as we have passed the midpoint in our fiscal year. And hopefully we will be able to inspire some new ideas or reinforce some key best practices. Also, to ensure you have what you need to be successful in your membership initiatives, we will include a high-level overview of the new Chapter Resource Center and how to access the chapter portal, where to find your chapter's dashboard for membership. So again, my name is Jim Kokinis, and I'm the Membership Manager here at HFMA. I'd like to thank our chapter leaders that have taken time out of their day to assist us this afternoon and share with us some of their best practices with regards to membership. Today, we will have the following chapter leaders providing us with their best practices. Govi Goyal, the Director of Membership with the Florida chapter. Nicole Watchman, the Program Co-Chair with the Washington, Alaska chapter. And Keith Bull, the Membership Chair with the McMahon-Illini chapter. Thank you all for joining us today and sharing your best practices. Also, I'd like to thank a few of my fellow team members that are assisting us today. As Jenna mentioned, Keith Chamberlain, the Director of Membership Marketing and Experience at HFMA, Melanie Binder, the Community Manager at HFMA, and of course, Jenna Davis, the Manager of Chapter Operations at HFMA. Let's go over briefly what we hope to accomplish here today. First of all, we will review our membership marketing overview to review how we are performing thus far this fiscal year, as well as provide some insight into the current and upcoming membership initiatives. What are some of the things that we have completed, and what is on tap for the remainder of this fiscal year? Also, we will briefly discuss the various membership categories that are currently available. The next bullet that you see is Chapter Resource Center. We will review the new Chapter Resource Center and where to access the reporting and reporting tools, as well as your chapter's dashboard for membership, engagement, and member value. Then we will touch on the new member referral site online. Keith Chamberlain, the Director of Membership Marketing and Experience, will lead us through a live demo of the new tool online. Also, Melanie Binder, our Community Manager at HFMA, will introduce us to the new community site. And last, but definitely not least, several of our chapter leaders will be sharing with us their best practices on recruitment, retention, and how to engage with students and faculty. We will also have a question and answer segment at the end of the presentation. You can submit your questions at any time throughout the presentation by typing into the Q&A pod on your screen. I'm very excited to announce that earlier this month, HFMA exceeded 50,000 total members. This is an all-time historic membership count. The announcement comes a little more than 2 years after launching our Enterprise Membership Program, which has grown to 99 organizations with employees in all 50 states. HFMA membership has seen nearly a 25% growth since 2018. With that said, I'm happy to announce that as of this morning, our total membership stands at 51,471 total members. This would not be possible without the support of our chapters and their leadership. Thank you to everyone and congratulations. Now let's take a quick high-level look at some of the current retention and recruitment campaigns. Our digital target marketing continues to be successful, yielding approximately 70% of our new members. Some of you may have seen our Google ads, Facebook ads, and targeted digital ads. This form of advertising has allowed us to select the best digital channels and ad types to reach our intended audiences. Our integrated acquisition campaign was a blend of direct mail and supporting emails to more than 50,000 individuals. This campaign did include new prospects as well as former members. We recently mailed out the new member referral brochure that went out to more than 20,000 individual members. We also did send out a supply of these member referral brochures to our chapter leadership. It is important to note that we will start fulfilling our prizes for this year's referral program starting this month. We also conducted an HFM magazine comeback campaign. Using the new reformatted HFM magazine, we promoted renewals among more than 5,000 lapsed members. Our new member welcome campaign was formally introduced last year and formalizes the onboarding of new members in a concerted effort to include welcome calls and the new member surveys, with a goal of increasing retention of our first-year members. Our guest conversion campaign sent more than 13,000 guest registrants of our website to convince them to join HFMA as paid members. This guest conversion campaign was launched this month. Also, it is important to mention our chapter drip campaign, which is currently winding down activities. That formally ends on March 15th. More than 300 members have been secured, and details about prizes will be shared with all of our chapter leadership in the near future. So those were all of the recent campaigns that we had conducted. Some of the things that are coming soon is our new membership webpage and join journey that does go live tonight. We also have a faculty and student acquisition campaign that will be targeting 2,500 faculty and administrators teaching finance and health administration in academic programs. That campaign is due to go out in March. In April, with the April edition of HFM, we will be targeting 10,000 non-members with a bonus circulation. We also will be piloting a trial membership program. This pilot program is expected to launch in the spring of 2020 among a targeted audience. We will be sharing insights from this pilot at the upcoming Leadership Training Conference. And last but not least, we will be developing a new member flyover video. We're currently putting the finishing touches on that video, and that should be available this upcoming spring. With regards to dues rates and membership categories, it's important to note that with the anniversary dues structure, individual members pay for a full year of membership regardless of the month they join. With that said, I would like to spend just a few minutes reminding everyone on the various membership categories available. The largest number of our members are in the professional and business partner membership categories. The professional membership category is designed for individuals in hospitals, health plans, physician practices, and others in healthcare settings, as well as clinician leaders. Our business partner membership category is designed for service providers and industry partners. In addition to our professional and business partner memberships, we do offer special discounted memberships to the following categories. Faculty membership is available for any full-time faculty teaching finance, healthcare administration, or medicine at an accredited college or university. Student membership is available for currently enrolled full-time students in an accredited undergraduate or graduate program and not currently employed in healthcare finance or one of its specialties. We also do have a retired membership category that is available to HFMA members in good standing who are transitioning to retirement and have been with HFMA for at least 5 consecutive years. They also do need to meet some other eligibility requirements. In addition, we offer our Enterprise Solutions option. This group membership program is designed to provide an organization's employees with cost-effective and easy-to-implement tools and resources that increase staff engagement and optimize organizational results. This membership is available to employees of Enterprise Solutions customers. With that said, I would like to ask that all chapter leaders verify that you have the most up-to-date membership applications available. Please discard any old membership applications that have the former pricing and membership categories referenced. The new membership applications can be accessed at any time online. To find out more about these various membership categories, please feel free to contact our member services team or myself at any time. The dues billing cycle traditionally begins 120 days prior to a member's lapse date. Even though we have transitioned to an anniversary dues model, most of our membership continues to have a membership lapse date of May 31st. So our biggest renewal push just started this month, approximately 120 days prior to a member's lapse date. Similar to last year, we will be providing our members with an option to renew for 2, basically an opportunity to renew their membership and lock in today's renewal rate for multiple years. This year, anybody renewing for 2 will also be receiving a special discount. Also again this year, anyone attending the upcoming annual conference taking place in San Antonio, Texas, June 28th through July 1st, will have the opportunity to renew and register. The renew and register option includes the member registration price plus your renewal dues that will bring your membership current through the following year. It's also worth mentioning that non-members registered to the annual conference have the option to include membership and opt in. Also, in May, we will plan to conduct our telemarketing campaign to anyone that has not renewed their membership as of yet, whose membership will be lapsing on May 31st, 2020. With that said, it is important to note that all members who have not renewed are contacted through our telemarketing business partner the month that they are due to renew. If they haven't done so as of yet, they will be getting a call from our telemarketing partners.
All right, it's time for another poll. Let me drag one in here for everybody to participate on. Here we go. Have you accessed the new chapter portal in the Chapter Resource Center? Looks pretty good. Looks like most everybody has. A few have not, and one was not aware. So thank you for participating in the poll.
Thank you, Jenna. And now we're just going to spend just a few moments on the Chapter Resource Center. So for those of you that have not accessed the Chapter Resource Center, the way to access that resource online would be you go to hfma.org, then you go to Tools, Chapter Resource Center, and you'll be prompted then to log in. From the Chapter Resource Center, you would click on Reporting and Reporting Tools. Then what you would do is you'd click on View Now in the Chapter Portal box. Here you'll find your chapter's dashboard for membership, engagement, and member value. You can also download your rosters in Excel, selecting the report from the drop-down menu. With that said, I did want to mention that we will have a couple of special webinars coming up to go over the chapter portal in more detail, as well as the metrics and awards. Feel free to register at any time. The first webinar will be on March 5th, and that will be covering the chapter portal and the dashboard. And then also on March 25th, we're going to be covering metrics and awards. So again, register today through the Chapter Leaders Webinar Center.
Jim, did you want to have Keith go over this, or do you want me to do the poll first?
Yeah, why don't we do the poll first, and then we can have Keith perform the demo.
Great.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Poll number 3. Does your chapter have a plan to conduct a member referral program this chapter year? Okay. Looks like we have about 36% are planning on doing so, and 64% are not planning on doing so. Thank you, everybody, for participating in the poll.
Thank you, Jenna. And now what I'd like to do is introduce our Director of Membership Marketing and Experience, Keith Chamberlain, who's going to be taking us through this great tool that is now available online for the member referral program. And for those that don't have a program in place, maybe Keith will change your minds and we'll put one in place for this fiscal year. This is a great tool. So good afternoon, Keith.
Thanks, Jim. And yes, hearing what I heard regarding the statistics, I think what we're about to show everybody might change some minds. It might help inspire how easy we've made it for folks to do member referrals. So if everyone can see my screen, I'll validate that with my colleagues online.
Yes, great. I can see it, Keith.
Wonderful, wonderful. Before I get started, so again, as most of you know, again, you're volunteer leaders, it's clear to us that you recognize the value that memberships bring you every day. And if you're like many of our members, someone probably introduced you to HFMA at some time, which ultimately led to your joining the association. So knowing that, as what I just said before, knowing that you are all our ambassadors in a big way, we've created a new tool that really simplifies and makes sharing membership a much more contemporary and easy experience. And so I'm going to just walk through this brief demo, share with you how it works, and that way you can take this, share it with other colleagues inside your chapter, as well as use it yourself. So it's, again, for those who you all have logins, so it's very simple. You log into hfma.org with your password and login. Once that happens, you're going to navigate to your account, and again, I'm going to presume you all know how this works since you're all you're all chapter leaders. You'll find down here is the My Referral section of the website. This was added right before the holidays. And once you're logged in, you will scroll down. You will see you have a unique referral link that's distinct to you that you can send to colleagues from any and all healthcare settings, including providers, health plans, or business partners, and it will direct them to the HFMA membership overview page where they can explore the appropriate categories of membership and join HFMA. You can share this link in a variety of ways. We've made it built-in icons here for LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and via email as well. So when you're using these programmed icons, it will incorporate a copy of this image here, this ad that invites folks to join. It has a special code for them to join as well. It offers them $25 savings at checkout when they use that code. So I'm going to take a quick look at and show you all with how that works on LinkedIn. And I've loaded that in advance to make it easier and faster. So when you choose the LinkedIn button, what happens is you'll be asked to log into your LinkedIn account. And once you do, that you'll see that point, a referral, that ad that I mentioned to you right there, along with a little built-in copy. You can either share that in a post to all the folks that are in your network on LinkedIn, or you can send it as a private message. It's very simple. It's pre-written. Again, if you also choose to use email, what we've done here is we've created a template where it's pre-written, includes a letter that you can customize, and again, send it to anyone in your address book, and you can modify it any which way you'd like to make it sound like it's coming from your voice, but again, we've tried to make it simple. And again, it includes the code here for the $25 savings and the unique link to join HFMA, and that again, code is unique to you. So when that's done, when you use either method, the pre-populated or email or the social media, what happens is when folks open up those links, you'll be able to tell how many people have you've referred have viewed the message that you've sent if they click that link, and you'll also be able to know those that have joined. So we've made a chart of progress so you can understand how well you're doing, and you'll also be able to find out, you'll be able to thank those who have joined or follow up with those who have joined, knowing that they're now part of the association. So not only will we be helping them discover the benefits of HFMA membership while saving a few bucks, we've wanted to make it interesting, and so we've created some new prizes this year for all those of you that bring folks to the association. So anyone who refers someone who joins will be put into a drawing for an Amazon gift card worth $500. In addition, the member with the most referrals will win the HFMA Annual Conference Experience Package. This is an all-expense paid trip to San Antonio this coming June and includes conference registration, lodging, and a travel gift card to help you pay for your airfare. The program, again, if you bring in one recruit, will have a nice insulated mug. 2 to 3 recruits, you'll get a swag bag with some specialty novelty things, including a leather notebook in that backpack and an HFMA logo umbrella. If you bring more than 4 recruits, or 4 or more, I should say, to HFMA, you'll get 1 year free HFMA dues in the next year renewal year. A special note for those that are listening that are enterprise members, you too are invited to participate in the referral program, but any qualifying referrals that you bring to the table have to be for individuals that are outside of your organization based on the way HFMA Enterprise Solutions membership works. So the program runs now through May 31st, and so the time, of course, to start referring is now, and it's clear that some of our leaders and our volunteers have already used this, because to date we've had over 92 referrals come through the link that's built into the My Referrals area. So if you have any questions about it, again, we've tried to make it super easy for you all in your private space here on your website. So we invite you to for those 64% of you who are not planning one, we invite you to change your minds. And with that, I'll hand it back to you, Jim.
Thank you, Keith. And at this time, what I'd like to do is introduce Melanie Binder, who is our community manager at HFMA, and she's going to be going over this great new tool that we have available for community. So good afternoon, Melanie. Welcome, and looking forward to hearing your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity to talk about community. So we do have our HFMA online community. We did launch this back in June, right before last year's annual conference, and we've recently upgraded to a new interface, and that's brought some new tools. So whether you're new to the community or you've logged into the community before, when you go to hfma.org and you're logged into our website, there's an option to click on community. That'll bring you right to this page. What you're seeing right now is the home page of the community. So if you have been an existing community member, the interface will look a little bit different to you. And we have a lot of new enhancements, and that's one of the things I wanted to go over today. And I also just wanted to point out we have a community call out. We're having this fun, discussion thread for this month that's going to actually go through the middle of March. All members are welcome to join the open forum and participate. And just what we were interested in knowing is what would you do with $20? And if you click through to that image, when you log into the community, you can see the details, and we'd love to see everybody participate in that. When you're on the homepage and you scroll down, you'll see some of the recent activity and discussions that are taking place by our members. And what I want to do here is just highlight some of the opportunities for our members as far as collaborating, connecting, and communicating with each other. This is an online secure space where members can stay connected any time of the day, any time of the year, throughout the year. So what we're doing is we're able to bring this experience so it's not just in-person experiences where our members can connect, but this is available at any time for our members to connect, collaborate, and gain expertise from each other and get answers to their questions either from speakers after conferences and events or just from members that they may have met. There's ways to connect online. You can follow other members, request friendships, send them private messages. There's a lot of that you can do within this community. It's a great place to share and collaborate, sharing on what's worked, tips for overcoming challenges, talking about best practices, a couple new discussions in the community where we've had people share drafts of policies that they've been looking for, whether it was a work from home policy or a buyback policy. So these are just some of the newer discussions. So if you have any questions or if you're looking for something in particular, try the community out by posting a question, anything that's challenging you, and you might be able to quickly solve some of your pressing concerns. It's also an opportunity to maybe mentor and connect with newer members, and it also allows you to lead conversations on important topics. One of the other slides, I'm going to show you some of the groups that we've developed, but we're also developing new groups that are going to help us share advice on career paths and certifications down the road. And then we have a bunch of new member tools where it's much easier to be notified of new activity. And you can also set up daily and weekly digests. And the community is also very mobile friendly. It's very responsive to any other device you're using. So if you're not at your office, you happen to be on the go at conferences and you see questions to answer, you'll be able to do that on your mobile device as well. And it's bringing us more contemporary features like you would experience on Facebook and LinkedIn with being able to mention other members. So if you know somebody who might be able to participate in the conversation and share their expertise, we now have a way to do that in this system. And those are some of the recent community enhancements. We have a more detailed set of notification options. And it's a great idea to set up daily and weekly digests. This is really going to allow all of our members to decide how they want to receive the information from us, in what format, and the frequency of it, as well as having more immediate notifications for any group that you're a member of. So you're getting the latest updates on discussions that are happening. There's also ways to mute that conversation if you're feeling like it's no longer pertaining to you. So we just have a lot more options now with this new community platform. There's also better filtering, so members can go in and they can really filter through the discussions and find what they're looking for. And members are also earning participation points. So what that does is allow a member to stand out. If they've participated in a lot of conversations and sharing their advice, they're going to earn more points with this system. And it'll just easily identify our members that are really being very active in the community. And again, members cannot mention each other in content and in comments as well. And this is just a screenshot of our community groups. This is just some of the ones that are available right now. We're going to be forming new groups, more topical groups. This is a list of the ones that are available, our public groups that any member can go in and join. We do have private groups and hidden groups. So we do have some working committee groups. We piloted one with one of the chapters. We'll be piloting some more down the road. So this is just our initial set of groups that we have here. So if you're a member of any hidden groups, that means that we're going to invite you to the groups instead of you selecting to join them. So some of them are in the works and will be launched soon, but you're more than welcome to either contact me or contact community@hfma.org if you'd like to suggest groups, either as a working group or topical groups that you would like to see that you think would benefit other members as well. And this is a screenshot of our email digest. If you look at the very top right corner of the screen shot, you'll see a little lightning bolt. If you click on that, you can get to where the settings are. That'll bring you to this page, and then there's many options here, so I suggest you or any members that you're talking to and you're talking about community, if you just take a couple minutes and you go and you set up your digest notifications, this will allow you to control the flow of emails that come your way, where you can select per group to have a daily digest, a weekly digest, or not subscribe to it at all. And you can change the frequency at any time. And then you're really personalizing the content that you're receiving from the community. There's a couple different levels. You can click on subscriptions and click on notifications. to subscribe or unsubscribe to certain actions that are being taken on the site as well that might trigger some notifications as well. And you can decide whether you'd like to receive them in portal or by email. So when you have a few minutes, I welcome you all to take a quick look through the community, join some groups, participate in some discussions that are already there, and if you have any questions that you need answered, it's a great place to reach out to as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Melanie. And at this time, I'm privileged to introduce our first best practice speaker today, Govi Goyal, who is a director with the Florida chapter, will be sharing with us his chapter's experiences with regards to membership recruitment and retention. Good afternoon, Govi.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jim. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. Happy to share what we're doing here in the Sunshine State. Florida is definitely unique. We've got a diverse demographic here, lots of transplants. We're one of the largest chapters, partly because the state of Florida is one chapter in itself with roughly about 2,600 members. Half of those are enterprise solution members. We've got about 45 different volunteer committees, pretty much something for everyone. In terms of membership growth and retention, we really focus a lot, I'd say probably more 70%, maybe 80% on retention initiatives. As you can tell, as Keith was demonstrating, this is really a referral kind of word of mouth type of business. We focus on keeping our members happy. We really tend to see a lot of that flow into and support, or naturally support our growth goals. But with that being said, I'll talk about both initiatives we've done specifically for either bucket. I wanted to start off talking about our upcoming events and what we do. So we really try to get as much feedback from our members because we want the decisions made and the way we structure education and events to be driven by our members. So capturing data is huge. And I think one way you can do that probably more recently we've discovered in kind of a sneaky but strategic way is to do it through registration. And so what I mean is we will ask certain questions. We have close to, especially for our statewide events, we have close to 300 people attending. That's a pretty large group there. You want to, when they're already filling out a form to register, it's a great way to collect some data just to learn about your members, what their needs are. Also learn from non-members, attendees, and how to get them engaged and get them to join. So we'll set up a membership table, have that staff 24/7. We do a new member welcome lunch. We know it's tough if it's your first year to go to these conferences. It may feel a little cliquey, and so part of our big focus is really to focus on new members. I think I've heard somebody say the statistic, and I'm not sure it's true, but it sounds true. HMA's got a great retention for seasoned kind of veterans. If you've been with HMA for a couple of years, you're bound to renew each year. But if you've only been with HMA for 1 year, the retention rate goes down, maybe around 50–60%. And so our focus is really on engaging those new members. And so we'll ask a question through the registration process. Hey, are you a new member? Would you like to learn more? We've initiated this buddy program, which is a huge hit. Folks really like it. It's great for growth and recruitment. It gives a chance for those who are not members, or even those who are members, attending events. We'll pair them up with a chapter leader. And so they kind of get to test the water. They get to see the whole package of benefits at the event. They feel connected. We introduce them to a lot of different folks. They get oriented. They get the exposure they need to different volunteer opportunities. And it feels more like they are a member. They can have all those benefits, and it's easier decision for them to make if they should join. For all of our events, we'll have testimonials at some point in the event where we'll have a chapter leader, a seasoned member, kind of get up there and talk about their experience, what it's done for their career. I think that does tremendous things when you have someone that might not be a member that's attending an event saying, hey, yeah, wow, look how much this has changed their life. Maybe I need to look more into this. Outside of educational events, more around what our membership committee is doing. So I'm excited. We've got a great committee. we have participated, as Jim was talking about, HFMA's 51 by 21 campaign. I think that's called the DRIP campaign. We had about 17, close to 20 converted. I'm not entirely sure if all of those converts was attributed to our efforts, but we created a task force, really identified early careerists, because in our mind, these are kind of the folks that are probably more suitable for that type of role, where they're going to be either for lack of a better word, doing cold calls or sending out emails, inviting people to join. We'd equip them with some cheat sheets and stuff like that, and kind of gave them all the tools they would need to do it. And so we got some good, obviously good results and good feedback on that. And so in conjunction with that, we've launched a new member engagement campaign, where anyone, again, kind of the focus is on folks that have been with HMA for less than a year. What we'll do is we'll send them a nice welcome letter from Florida HMA, a volunteer kind of packet to get them oriented, a committee selection form so they can pick a committee to sign up for. We'll try as best to give them a call if we can. If we got, if the bandwidth can always resource was an issue. But that's great insight to then ask them, hey, why did you join? How did you join? Because that gives us more insight in case there's some specific reasons where Florida might be an anomaly compared to why other chapters or volunteer or members are joining HFMA. And so that information is really helpful for those type of initiatives. And then I know Jenna wanted me to talk about the non-renewals. I think we're probably doing what a lot of other chapters are doing. We're leveraging that non-renewal list that we get, I think, right around the kind of June, July timeframe. What I tend to do is I'll kind of massage the data. I'll bifurcate out that report. The biggest thing is, I think, again, kind of going back to separating out those that have been with HMA for a couple of years and may have simply just forgotten to renew. That's the low-hanging fruit. Probably a simple email will get them to renew. And then those that have maybe just been with an HMA for a year or two and all of a sudden relapse. Those are the ones where you probably have to be a little more strategic, probably need a phone call up, more of a formal plan in place. But once I've gotten that report kind of dissected out, I'll pull in the board. I think it's important for chapter leaders to see that report and see who they have a relationship with, and ask the board members to indicate who they'd like to follow up with. And I think that pretty much has probably the best in terms of output and getting folks to rejoin. So aside from that, I just have one more kind of initiative to share. This is more around enterprise membership. Enterprise membership can be a great strategy in place, both for retention, but probably even more for growth. As I mentioned, half of our members, or even more than half of our members, are enterprise members. What we've done is we've created a whole new chair, enterprise membership chair. This individual has done a tremendous job. They've really focused on two key areas. One is new opportunities. So worked collaboratively with Vincent and other folks at National to say, hey, this organization here, they've got a lot of members. They've come to a lot of events, but they're not an enterprise member. Have you talked to them before? What's the strategy here? How do we? I have a connection. Should we get on a phone call? Let's talk to them. And so we've been really able to engage a few new organizations this year, I think, in the pipeline that are highly likely to convert over to enterprise membership and really see that value. And then for those that are existing enterprise members, we'll work with their CFOs, their leadership team, whoever champion we can get, and talk to them about possibly going on site, talking to their finance teams, revenue cycle teams, whoever it may be, doing an HMA 101 to talk about the benefits, volunteer opportunities. Certification is huge. That seems to still be the biggest driver, I think, in these enterprise memberships, to really align, to get an understanding of where the employee development needs are and career development needs are, and how that brings value back to their employer. Kind of aligning the certification that HMA can offer with that, I think really helps us drive that forward. And then, of course, trying to trying to do a one-day regional educational event at these enterprise membership organizations is a great way, because it's tough for them to come out to statewide events, so we try to go to them as well. But I think that's probably a good summary. I've got a few more, but I'll pause there. I know I've got others that are going to share their practice as well.
Thank you, Govi. That was great. And at this time, I'd like to introduce Nicole Watchman, who is the program co-chair with the Washington, Alaska chapter, and will be sharing with us her chapter's experiences with regards to membership retention. Good afternoon, Nicole.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me share. So what I did is I just compiled a list of membership retention notes from our chapter president and leadership and officers. So I'm going to go ahead and go through that for you. In general, things that I see that our chapter does that contributes to membership retention. We have a good mentorship program. Local and national connections are always really good to have. We have good social events and networking outside of just conferences. Last year we did a kickball tournament, and we got with, so I am part of the Washington, Alaska chapter, and we got with our Oregon chapter and had a kickball tournament, and soon this year we'll have a volleyball tournament and maybe baseball games, etc. Just really helps you build those connections and you know, hopefully retain membership that way as well. So yes, collaboration with Oregon and other chapters across the country where we share health systems and membership. Last year we brought in one of the national leaders in revenue cycle management for an all-day how-to seminar. That was well attended. We also host webcasts with our enterprise members to make it easier for them to engage with the chapter as well. Sometimes they can't always make it to conferences, but having this as a tool is a great thing for them, so that way they can be able to join and feel involved as well. Also hosted events at our specific enterprise sites. So for instance, our big enterprise is Providence, and we host a women's conference there for them, and you know, it's a lot easier for them to be able to participate and attend, because not everybody can afford to travel across the state or whatnot, or even go to Alaska. Variety of conference lengths and types. For example, we do one-day, multi-day, and rural, women-focused conferences, etc. Diversity of programming and format contributes to making chapter membership valuable to all kinds of preferences. I assume that leads to stronger retention as well. Weekly email blasts and LinkedIn engagement definitely helps at least get the word out, and not just retention, but hopefully get new members as well. We also encourage personal invitations to events and conferences from the chapter president, from our chair members, and anybody that sometimes we actually do a competition with the board members to see who can send out the most invites to our conferences, personal invites that is, just to get that personal touch for our members. Targeted professional education as well, local, regional, and national. We have vendor, business partner, direct access, consulting service connections, and shared expertise has helped. Certification programs for all levels of staff, from registration and billing reps to VP positions, CFO panels, things like that, just to try to broaden our horizon. Career movement support connections, like our university connections and getting students involved as well. We also hold university events for students and staff engagement. New member lunch has been successful as well. Just help, kind of like what Govi was saying, just help them get more involved and feel like they've been a part of the team forever. And because sometimes it can feel cliquey because people are just excited to talk to the people that they know. So if you have a new member lunch, it just helps them get involved right away and meet new people right away as well. But yeah, regarding membership retention, our efforts to expand access to our educational events. This is from our president. He says he believes that we have done this by holding the women's conference on the campus, like I mentioned, of Providence, our largest enterprise, making it easier for members there to attend the event. And second, by live streaming. We live stream our fall conference and our women's conference. So the people that can't actually physically make it to the session, they can view it live online. But last but not least, I'd like to personally mention how great our chapter is at just making people feel involved and appreciated. We reach out to them specifically, try to get them involved right away with whether it's just getting them on the committees, and I mean, even if it's just helping at the registration desk, we just really like to try make people feel appreciated and involved. But we also have VIP breakfasts or CEO panels, and making sure that we have multiple conferences in all areas. So we have Eastern Washington, Western Washington, and even in Alaska. And I just love that we added our women's conference this year. It just really, really helped build and keep our members happy and excited to keep moving forward. A lot of the networking events too, that really helps because it makes it a lot more fun. And again, it's another way for new members and existing members to just meet new people and have a more casual, fun time before entering into all the sessions. But yeah, I think that is all from me. Thank you so much for letting me share.
Thank you so much, Nicole. And thank you for that great information. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to our next best practice presenter. Keith Bull, who is the membership chair with the McMahon Illini chapter, will be sharing with us some of the special things that are going on currently with regards to engagement with students and faculty, especially with the project they're working on with Bradley University. So Keith, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jim, and good afternoon, everyone. A lot of great information this afternoon, and it's timely information and good information definitely to know. So moving forward with that, our chapter has been involved with students and young careers. We've initiated some programs with several of our campuses in our area probably about 5 years ago. It's been an interesting trip. They've all been good. A lot of different results from the different programs we've tried to put together, and different approaches with different programs and different involvement levels as well. As Jim indicated, we've had a fair amount of success with Bradley University and working with them. And excuse me, our chapter is not unlike virtually everyone else that's probably on this call. I mean, we're spread out. We cover a large geographical area. So Bradley is somewhat central in our state, not totally, but it works out well. We do get a fair amount of good involvement from our membership at that university, as well as we do have several of our meetings in the Peoria locations, and that works to help network with students at Bradley. One of the things that we've done is always analyze our involvement there on a very regular basis. We have a panel of professors as well as HMA members that have periodic phone calls, conference calls, developing and planning out our next events as we move forward. The neat part about the Bradley event is it gets they've got a lot of their students involved, from accounting clubs, finance clubs. There is a dean who is in charge of healthcare careers. She is involved, and as a side to what we do actively with the students, she's brought in HFMA members to talk about their careers and with the students and what opportunities are available. One thing that we have found is most students and a lot of faculty have never heard of HFMA, have no idea what opportunities are available to them in the world of healthcare and finance and the ancillary type service that's involved, excuse me, with healthcare. As a kind of a sidelight, and I think we're probably going to be running close on time here, but a sidelight to the activity of Bradley, their involvement has also been with, I mean, it's a two-way street. So Bradley has gotten very involved with HFMA, not only with our chapter, but somewhat on a national level. Just launched a revenue cycle certificate program. It's in its third week of this particular cohort, and it's off to a great start. It tapped into a lot of the HFMA resources. It just was on a session, excuse me, yesterday, which most of the map key information was presented in a very good light, and it was some great, excuse me, great discussion with that as well. I'm going to lose my voice. So, with that being said, the student events I'd say are one, they're a lot of fun. They're definitely challenges. But it's great to see that those students get involved. You look at some mentoring opportunities with the students. You look at internships for hospitals that it becomes a great pool for them to work with the students in that respect. So with that being said, I will conclude and turn the mic back over to Jim.
Thank you, Keith. And at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Jenna Davis, who's been our moderator. She's going to be going ahead and moderating our question and answers portion of today's webinar. So good afternoon, Jenna. Hopefully we have a few questions.
You know what? Actually, everybody has been pretty quiet. I'm looking at the chat pod and at the Q&A pod, and I am not seeing any questions in the queue. So just give it a minute or so here just to make sure that
if anybody has any questions,
question,
please submit them.
Let's see.
Well, and
we had a question.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead,
Jenna.
Keith.
I was going to say, I might want to just say I'm seeing questions about, will this be recorded as an archive meeting? And so that's come up. I see a couple of those in the chat because of the timing. So yes, I believe, I see, Jenna, you are recording this. So I imagine we'll make this link available to everyone as well as to all the chapter leaders after the event, correct?
Yes, that's correct. And actually that brings me to a good point, Keith. We'll have this video and webinar recording up in the Chapter Leader Webinar Center early next week, so look for it on Tuesday. Currently up there right now is a recording that we did where Keith demoed the membership or the member referral tool. We have that recording posted in the Webinar Center right now, so we'll have this recording up there. Look for it on Tuesday as of next week. So we have a question that came in. And it's how are the students engaged? And I don't know, Jim or Keith, could you maybe answer that? Give us a little bit of information on student engagement.
Was the question pertaining more to the McMahon Illini program that they had with Bradley, or was this just in general?
I'm not sure if this individual is still on the line and could just send a message in chat to help us clarify. That would be great. In general, she just saying, thank you. How are the students engaged?
Jim, do you want me to answer that from the Bradley perspective?
Absolutely.
The session that we did this previous spring. It involved very extensively the accounting club, and we worked very extensively with the professor over in the accounting area. Part of their homework assignments, if you will, was to get background regarding healthcare for some of their classroom assignments. And so it was, it was a project that they were working on for pretty much most of the semester. They viewed the actual networking time that we had together as like I say, it was their time to gather information and get as much detail as they could about whatever their specific area was. But it was their time to talk to their pro. And as a follow-up to the actual networking event, we had HFMA members that were involved with classroom work as well, and that presented and worked with the professor in follow-up after that event as well as prior. So it's kind of an ongoing scenario, but that's how that played out.
Thank you, Keith. We had one more question come in. I don't know if Nicole is still on the line regarding the live streaming. Are chapters charging, those chapters that do live streaming, are you charging for that?
Yes, we do, but it's very low. I believe they charge $25 per person on the live stream.
Great. Thank you. Yeah. That's very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just kind of giving it one more check here, and there are no other questions or chat in the queue. So we will go ahead then and wrap things up.
They did, one more thing just came in. Did you see that?
Oh, I did not.
Oh yeah, so this is Govi. I can talk a little bit more about the introduction letter. I assume you're referring to kind of that new member engagement. So we have a process where like every month we'll look at the roster and see who's a new member. And just generate a report. And for those that are new members, we'll send out 3 things to them. One of them is just a simple welcome letter telling them about a little background, HMA 101, some of the benefits, some upcoming events and stuff like that, direct them towards the website. And then we'll also send them a volunteer packet that lists out our 40+ committees and gives them background into the volunteer positions available. And then also a selection form if they want to select which committee they want to get involved in. But that's kind of what that is. And we're happy to share those docs. Those docs actually might be somewhere on the national site. I think you've got a repository somewhere where you've got some like toolkits available.
Thank you, Govi. That's very good information. Appreciate it. Yep. Okay, we are just about at time, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up for today. I hope today's webinar provided everyone with some helpful information on some of the membership things going on at HFMA, and I hope that everyone found it as beneficial as I did listening to our chapter leaders share their best practices. They are the boots on the ground, and they are out there doing the work, and we greatly appreciate all the efforts that go into membership recruitment and retention and everything that our volunteers do for HFMA. As a final reminder, please complete the online evaluation that you'll receive via email after this presentation. We truly appreciate any feedback that you have for us. And finally, I'd like to thank this opportunity to thank everyone on today's webinar for your time this afternoon and for giving both your time and your talents to HFMA and our members. We greatly appreciate it, and thank you again for participating in today's webinar, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. This concludes today's webinar. Thank you very much.